Thanks everybody for joining. And this is more kind of just a informal kind of hockey talk with a couple shop owners and just talk hockey in general. Kind of wanted to just let the people know out there that the Prosharp guys and the Prosharp team, wherever you're dealing with them, are more of a hockey resource too, as opposed to just talking about our machinery and trying to drive sales. So we have extensive knowledge in hockey and in all aspects. And today I thought we'd take the first step in just having a kind of informal, fun discussion, field some questions from the audience if any come in. And we'll ask each other some questions on just what's going on in today's hockey environment. So that's just a brief overview what's going to go. I'll introduce the guys on the panel, if you will, in a couple of minutes here. If I can get my brother to join on. I know he's making a sales call out in Saskatchewan, so he's trying to probably join via his phone while he's driving. So we'll take a couple minutes to see if he can link up here. But if not, we'll keep going.
Good stuff. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Where's everybody from?
I'm in Toronto area here. So our office in Toronto is just outside of Toronto, actually, in Etobicoke. So that's where I'm at right now.
I just moved from the main office in Toronto out to Calgary. So I'm taking care of our customers here out Western Canada. So it's been a nice transition.
Open your borders, man. I want to go to Lake Louise, dude.
Lake Louise.
Come on up. I'm about to have you.
Yeah,
I'm about an hour away. So.
It's an 18-hour drive there. I've driven that in the summertime. It's not too bad.
How many hours that's in?
18 hours from San Jose.
Okay.
You load up your car and you go through Idaho, and they don't even look in your car when you're hauling a bunch of crap that you buy at Canadian Tire, or you go to you played against sports over there. Yeah.
Lake Louise actually has a few of our machines for their rental skate program. Actually, they bought a 1001 last year, and they got a couple home units that they use. So they do a pretty good business up there, I think, with the rinks and the outdoor.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've gone skiing there, but I've never gone outdoor hockey.
Yeah.
Joey, your son's going to be close to there, right?
Yeah, he just started working at a resort in Kananaskis, so he's about 45 minutes from there. So.
Oh, my brother.
They have.
Sorry, Joey.
They have an outdoor rink for the staff at their resort as well, so gonna have to get them a Prosharp for their skates as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug my Mandalorian 2-pair Blade Runner bags here.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Love it.
It's printed on Gucci material, as you can see. Yeah.
Keep it classic.
Brad, we're just waiting for your video to pop up. Oh, there he is.
I'm probably going to turn off my video because I'm going to be driving here, so you don't need to watch me drive.
All right. Well, that's all right. Just keep it on. It's fine. I think so. But that's my brother, everybody.
See that?
Hey, that's why. Hey, this is why his pro hockey career didn't last so long. He was always late for the goddamn bus.
That was funny.
5 minutes early, 5 minutes late. He never.
So he's the original Hosang, right?
So I'll introduce the panel here just so we can let everybody know who we're dealing with. So we at the bottom here, bottom left of my screen, we got Essen Gallo. You can give us a wave there, Essen. He's the president of Bear. Is this how you say it? Bear?
Bay Area Hockey Repair.
Yeah, Bay Area Hockey Repair, and he does a good job sharpening skates, fixing all types of gear, and then he's also has an Indiegogo, I think it's called, kind of.
Oh, that one's expired 2 years
expired
ago.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's into all things hockey, loves hockey, has his education from California College of Arts, and he's a freelance artist also. So very enthusiastic hockey gentleman, and he will probably give us a lot of insight on what's going on in the California area with regard to hockey. To my right is Brad Toporowski. He Played 4 years of pro hockey after 4 years of major junior hockey in the WHL. He runs a Xerox franchise, and he is also the vice president of the Prince Albert Raiders, the WHL franchise, the Hockey League. He is also on the board of the Prince Albert Minor Hockey, and he is a head coach of the AA Pee Wee team. So welcome, Brad. Thanks for joining us today. And he also runs Prosharp Prince Albert, which is a small shop he runs inside a small community center ice rink in Prince Albert. So thanks for joining us today, Brad. Up on the left-hand corner, we have John Dahlgren. He is our 4 years tech analyst in sales for Prosharp in the Toronto area. He managed Pro Hockey Life before he joined our team in the Mississauga store, and he was a goalie instructor at Frontline hockey camps. And he has also earned a bachelor's degree from Carleton University in 2014. So part of our team, our Prosharp team, but again, a great resource for hockey. Welcome, John. Thanks for joining us today. And then to our far right, we have Joey Tedorenko, Tats. He was drafted 82nd overall in the 1996 NHL draft by the Florida Panthers. He was captain of the 1998 Memorial Cup champions Portland Winterhawks. He went on to play 9 seasons of pro hockey in the NHL, AHL, and he racked up 73 games in the NHL with over 500 in pro hockey. He retired in 2007. He also captained Team Sask to the gold medal in the Canadian Winter Games in 1995. He has a Development 1 certificate from Hockey Canada, and he is also a private instructor at Shift Hockey. So welcome, Joey. And he's been with
Thank you. Keep talking. Sounds good.
Big body, plays a big heavy game in front.
Yeah.
Big body, heavy on the stick. Yeah. And then right to my right here is Ryan Palmer. He played 10 years pro hockey in North America. He retired 7 years ago. He graduated from University of Connecticut, where he had a D1 scholarship, full ride, and graduated there and then turned pro. He has been with Prosharp for 7 years, and he's our chief sales officer. He's a lead coach at Competitive Goals Ice Hockey Training, and he's associate coach, head coach for his Pee Wee AAA team. He's level 4 certified from USA Hockey. He is also assistant coach for Worcester State University and NCAA Division III programs. So welcome, Ryan, and thanks again for joining us. Like I said, and myself, I've introduced myself probably to a number of these people, but I'll just go over who I am. I'm Shane Toporowski. I've been working with Prosharp for 7 years. I was drafted to 42nd overall in 1993 to the Los Angeles Kings. I played over 1,000 games pro hockey over the course of 18 seasons. I retired 7 years ago. Currently I'm the head coach of the U14 AAA Senators and men's ice hockey for Worcester State University Division III program. So again, thank you guys all for joining us, and we'll get the conversation started. Like I said, it's going to be very impromptu. It's just something easy. We're just talking hockey and just having a lot of fun here. So we can even throw some jokes around, some funny stories if they come up. But again, thank you all for joining us. So Essen, I guess we'll get started with you. What's happening out in California with the COVID, and how's your shop running? And just get everybody in our audience and even us up to speed on how are you handling things?
Not so well, but across the street you got 6 sheets. They're going to be done in about a year there. You got the Barracudas Arena. They haven't found a sponsor yet, but it's really noisy outside, guys. Like they've shut down everything, even though it's a lot of construction, a lot of traffic coming in and out of here. But like we were the first ones that as you guys can remember back in March, March 17, they had the shutdown here, shelter in place, and don't mind my my cup over here for coffee.
Is that a message to somebody?
No, it's just status of mind, I guess, But yeah, looking forward to that. I mean, the end game for me is to eventually sell my shop and, move on to the next phase in my life, But for now, just keep grinding away. I mean, I've lost so much revenue this year, guys. It's ridiculous. And I don't know if you guys can remember the looting that happened here last May for Memorial Day weekend. My shop got broken into a few times. Like,
Wow.
truth
That's
be
too
told.
bad.
And yeah, it's just a lot of challenges, and virtually all my revenue are from out of town now on my website. So I'm just plugging away here. I mean, I'm making stupid like Baby Yoda skate guards with like Stormtrooper and Darth Vader freaking liner. And
Yeah.
so, and then if you guys watch the show Mandalorian, you got Grogu over there with the snaps. And so, I mean, this is my bestseller. Skate guards. I'm just expanding on it. I got permission from Alex and the boys to make masks. I started making masks in February, so I made about 5,000 masks already since then. And I got spit on a few times by the homeless people. There's a lot of homeless encampments around here. Weather is great in California. A lot of homeless people, especially in LA. So that's that. So, and there's a lot of people here that are kind of like deniers still, and kind of, you guys watch the news, whether you believe in what's going on with the pandemic right now, it's real, whether you like it or not. And there's going to be another surge coming here, people traveling and not caring about other people. So, and I have a lot of people that are first responders as well, and I hear from them firsthand. So you gotta care. I'm technically an essential worker, so I've gotten pulled over a few times, but I show my ID, and it's a grind. It's a grind, but we got to get through it somehow. I'm lucky to be alive, to be honest with you guys. So and I'm grateful for you guys. I'm a lonely island here, first of all.
Yeah.
California. I mean, like my story is the most unlikely story, but the worst part is, if I can just share something, is I don't get to see a lot of these kids anymore that I watch grow over the years. This is my 9th year doing this, and that's the best part of my job. Like, you got Dustin Wolf, that was like a baby when he started, and he's up there tearing it up. And everybody just kind of getting drafted and making waves. You got Filipinos doing things now. Toronto over the playoffs. Rob Zettler, coach, Rob just got hired by Tampa Bay, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no hockey whatsoever here, like no contact. I mean, I played hockey 2 weeks ago, and I was wearing my mask, and it doesn't matter how good it is, it's hard to play with a mask on. Sorry, I'm a little dark in here. The light went out, so that's basically my story, guys. Yeah, I have window service. That's all I got with the shop. But even then, people don't wear a mask at the window, and they demand to come inside. Customer service is kind of hard down here. We lost 2 more rinks in the last couple of years, and then we lost Hockey X in Oakland. And the only thing that's left are Sparks machines and Pure Hockey. And I'm never anybody's first choice here. I'm still word of mouth. Like, besides social media, people don't discover me until they have a bad job on sharpening. I mean, something as simple as profiling, rockering. It's a struggle. Because everybody still wants Amazon convenience and price, and Rodeo Drive, customer service, and drive-through convenience. That's my 2 piece.
Well, thanks for that. That's a lot of information, Essen. You got a lot of shit on it. There's a lot of people in the same category as you, and I think that's why we're here. We want to air what's going on and how we're handling it and how we can work together and get through this. I mean, there's nothing easy about what's happening in the hockey environment. Brad, circling over to you, what's happening in Saskatchewan with hockey?
Actually, my team just came out of isolation here. We coached 2 teams. The girls' team, we kind of got hit with COVID. 9 girls got it there. So then we being a contact that shut down the boys team for 2 weeks, and we just had our first practice with 8 on the ice and masks on yesterday. Kids didn't like it too much. I didn't like coaching it that much. Electronic whistle works good.
Yeah.
Other than that, my shop is real slow. I just cut back to 2 days a week, and even then, you keep it open. There's nobody coming in. There's teams are canceling out on practice. There's the fear of them having to isolate over the Christmas break. So really not much business at all. So I don't need the shop to be open. That's not my main business. Obviously it's nice to have that open and extra revenue, but you feel sorry for the kids who are working it. One kid's been there 4 years, and now he's probably counting on that spending money. He's going to university. He's working my shop, and I got to cut back the hours because I can't just keep on paying if there's no revenue coming in.
Yeah,
but I think there's going to be a circuit breaker here. Everything's shut down for a couple weeks on the 17th, so they should have probably just shut her down for December for a bit and then come back at it, but we'll see how it goes.
What's the latest news on junior hockey with the Raiders, and have you been involved in some of those meetings?
They're talking about pushing that back to the 15th of January or the 8th of February. Nothing's confirmed. They're trying to see. I think they're pretty much waiting to see what the government announcements are on the 17th. It's going to be tough to play without fans. I think we're already forecasting a pretty hefty loss with 50% capacity. So if we don't get to that, it's going to be pretty tough slugging for all the teams.
How are you guys trying to drive revenue if you guys do go? Are you guys planning on going in a hole and recovering in other following years, or are you trying to prepare for it?
Yeah, there's a forecast for sure over the years. They're trying to do different things as far as, the streaming of the games. Holy fuck.
Language.
Streaming of the games.
There's no edit
Streaming
button
of the
right now.
games. No, that's okay. We're live. Streaming of the games, things like that to increase revenues. Like they got a 50-50 going on for all the Saskatchewan.
You broke up there. We'll circle back if he gets a better reception there. Joey, besides going down in the marching at Calgary, how's everything going there?
Well, it was Alberta was one of the last provinces to shut down.
Because
Brad.
now, instead of having the kids on ice 2-3 times a week.
Brad, you're breaking up here. I'm just going to jump over to Joey here for a second because.
What's that?
Yeah, you got a little bit bad reception coming through, so we're going to jump over to Joey here. You're cutting in and out, so Joey, go ahead, continue.
So everything was kind of moving along in Alberta. We were one of the last provinces to really, put hard shutdowns on everything. That's probably why the cases where we are a little bit higher than everybody else. It was going fine. Then about a week and a half ago, the province implemented no hockey at all. I know that the outdoor season is a positive thing out here. There's a lot of people skating outside, so hopefully that is enough to, as far as for your mental state, being able to be out on the ice, being able to skate is a little bit of a supplement for what would be normal. I've been in a couple shops in Calgary in the last. Their sharpening and profiling is down, but I think there's a buzz of optimism. Hopefully, once the vaccine and their things open up, that people have that energy to go back into shops and really spend some money. So the thinking is, if we do not have a structured season to end out to 2021, that spring hockey, summer hockey will be very intense coming up. So hopefully that society around here gets vaccinated, everybody has a positive outlook, and then get out and really help our segment of business. So
Right.
guys like EC, guys like Brad. I think the long term goal is just hang on long enough to be able to get that surge once people are back able to get back in society, get back to rinks. So kind of I think the people that can hang on. I know there's been some unfortunate shops that just couldn't survive this kind of economic struggle. But for those that can hang on, I think hopefully that it'll be very positive within the next 4 to 6.
Right. Good info there, Joey. John, what's happening in Ontario?
Yeah, pretty similar type deal here in Ontario. So specifically the GTA, the Toronto area, as well as Peel region, which is like Mississauga and Brampton, right next to Toronto. We've been in full lockdown status since towards the end of November now, which essentially means non-essential small businesses had to close their doors. Rinks have been closed to the public. So essentially the only hockey that's going on here in Toronto is basically just private skates. And it's nice to see some of the outdoor rinks are starting to freeze now. So Toronto's got a pretty good outdoor rink set up here. So they're trying to get that underway as best they can by booking time slots and whatnot. But definitely still a struggle for a lot of the smaller shops here who are pretty much limited to curbside pickup at the moment. So not easy. Definitely feel for a lot of these smaller shop owners who are just trying to get through this pandemic as best they can. But as far as hockey goes, the minor hockey leagues have suspended everything until Jan 1 when they'll reevaluate. So there's really no practicing, no games going on for the rest of the month here until we get an update. So it's not looking great, but I think we're getting close to getting over the hump, but we'll see how it goes.
Good info there. Thanks. Ryan, just take us over what's happening here in our area.
Yeah, so I'll just start with, I guess, the upper level in terms of the professional side of sports here. The East Coast Railers are play, obviously in the ECHL. They decided to cancel their season just because of the struggles with regarding to travel and the different requirements that were, I guess, put on them in terms of playing. Half that league, I guess, down south is still going moving forward. The colleges here at the D3 level have canceled the season. The kids are still allowed to practice. They have to wear masks at all times as soon as they enter the rink and as soon as they're on the ice. The D1 side of things are trying to get through the season right now. Obviously, they're trying to deal with COVID issues and guidelines, but that's up and running. At the high school level, they got delayed start. They're hoping to start here shortly in terms of games. At the youth level, we've only had a 2-week shutdown since the season started, but they've put a lot of guidelines and restrictions with the kids and coaches, obviously. They're masked at all times. We can't travel outside of Massachusetts and play. So teams around us like New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, New York aren't allowed to come into our state and play those teams. So it kind of hampers the schedule a little bit. Obviously, we've got a couple different leagues in terms of elite side where the teams are coming from all over. So unfortunately, those are kind of on hold. They're hoping to backload the schedule at some point towards the end of the season and play those teams to make them up, but who knows. And then from rink to rink, it's different. Some rinks allow spectators, some don't. The mask mandate was 2 spectators, but it seems like every rink has their own idea in terms of how to handle the guidelines. So we're all trying to navigate the best we can with it, and I'm just thankful things are still up and running at the moment.
Essen, thanks, Ryan. Essen, what do you know what the Sharks NHL players are doing? Like, are they practicing across the street from you, or down, or like, what's the situation with them? Have you heard?
So I'm literally 50 meters away from where the Sharks offices are, Sharks practice facility in the South Rink. They shut down their South Rink where the Barracudas and the Sharks practice so they can extend the compressor to the additional 2 rinks, including the where Barracuda's arena is going to be. They were supposed to have that built for them when the realignment happened, but because of the San Francisco Giants blocking the Oakland A's from coming to South Bay,
Yeah.
from Oakland. All the, like things got all screwed up and they're playing, at SAP Center. So I don't see any of the players across the street. I literally watch Brent Burns sometimes drive in his Sprinter or roll in his mountain bike and tight shorts, and Barracuda's players coming in and out of there, and like it's fun. I come in here in the morning and I see the guys sometimes, wave at each other or whatnot, or I just hop in, watch the practice, but it's non-existent. You have to change in a parking lot. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm in the bathroom, I can see the kids like changing in the parking lot across the street and then doing warm-ups, and then I would scream at them. We can literally, they're an earshot away. I tell them to shut up, just as a joke while I'm taking a dump, so really close. So, like lost a lot of money last Thanksgiving is literally the biggest weekend for us here, as far as people coming from out of town. That's $7,000 I lost this year compared to last year. So I know most people discover my shop coming from out of town, and that's the part that hurts the most is just the walk-in volume, that is non-existent now. So,
yeah.
And I don't know if you can recall, Shane, like I had an incident back in early March, like first week of March, sent you an email and stuff. And, that's just one of the many things that I've had to deal with personally. But, I have people that are still supporting me here locally. And even though I've been working by myself since March, I'm not alone. I have a lot of help. I have a lot of support. So people making sure I stick around and, like the mental, the emotional aspect of this thing, that's the hardest part. So having a community with you guys, I'm a lonely island out here. It's keeping me going, and I hope you guys don't mind the joking and, my Es Santa, like I'm sending you guys a postcard with some Es Santa merch and stuff. And I'm taking a break here, like Mandalorian, Blade Runner bags,
Nice.
Sorry. And, last year I became a professional water boy. So, going to Manchester, but I should probably stop helping professional teams because I'm like 5-0 so far. All those teams don't exist anymore. As a joke, I'm sure I have nothing to do with it. They were gonna fold anyway.
Talking about the mental side, Brad, and or whoever wants to chime in, like what do you guys feel like, or how are we supporting, I guess, as a hockey community, the kids? Like, I mean, I guess we're struggling too as business owners and shop owners and hockey coaches. But to me, what my biggest worry is what are we doing for the kids and how are we supporting the kids? So Brad, Joey, you guys have kids and you're both coaching at the youth level in Hockey Craze Canada. What do you guys feel like? How do we go about this? How do we support them in the right way without causing them even more stress?
Well,
Mike, go ahead, Joey. You go first.
No, I was just saying this is kind of new for anybody in our generation to have something like this go through. I think the biggest thing is that we keep exposing them to the game. We introduce the game any way we can, whether it's outdoor rink or just that culture, just to keep them involved. Numbers of enrollment in hockey in general have been on the decline over the last couple of years, just because of cost, just because of intensity at such a young age. I just hope that there's not an even bigger drop off for kids and enjoying the sport. So just for me and my kids, I just want to make sure that they're on the ice at the outdoor rink as often as possible to keep that love of the game, to keep that feeling of being on the blades like we always did as kids. The reason why we love the sport, just the pure aspect of it. So in those ways, just try to keep that passion alive. Just keep them exposed to the culture. I know it's limited at this point, but anything that you can do. I know my son's team, they have virtual classes that just introduce different parts of the game to them a couple times a week, just to keep them involved as a group. Because I know when I played being social with my teammates was one of the biggest reasons why I love to play the game. And so it's probably kind of hard for these kids not having that aspect. You can work on your skills, you can do many things by yourself, but a lot of us play this game just because of the social aspect and being part of the team. So anytime that we can kind of keep them close together, we're trying to do that.
That's a good point. Thanks, Joey. Brad, what you want to double up on that?
Yeah, personally, my kids,
16 in the morning.
I know we
they're
talked
fine.
a lot about Mandalorian, but I didn't know you had that.
They have other
Brad,
hockey, so
you're too far up north now at this juncture.
I think, you know, if they're away from it for a while. What's that?
I said you're too far up north at this juncture. You cutting in and out. I think you're too close to Big River.
Where's your bunny ears?
Well, I'll
come in and almost back in good cell range. So
okay, yeah, I'll ask when you're a little bit closer. Give me a heads up on that. So, but you know, as far as I'm concerned with the mental health of the players, I know we've been fortunate enough to, you know, the rinks don't allow spectators or anything like that, which I'm okay with as long as the kids are on ice. But when I'm coaching them, you know, even though I'm coaching a high level of hockey, that I'm very careful of my, I guess, coaching style now. Like, I don't want to be too hard on the kids, but you also don't want to let the kids know that you've not like changed your style so much that it feels like you've quit on them, or, you know, like you still want to coach them and give them the information, but you don't want to be too hard where it's going to cause them more stress. To me, it's just about getting the kids on the ice and having that social interaction and being together and still nurturing the love of the game and the passion of the game. Because a lot of the kids are in remote learning for school, and that in itself is tough. They don't get to see their schoolmates in the classroom as often as they're used to. So certainly coming to the rink and having that interaction is, to me, one of the most important aspects of the kids going forward here. So you know, that's very important.
And I've seen you coach. I think you can make me a better hockey player too, Coach.
What level did you see me coach? Because that all changes.
Oh, I think it was under 10.
Yeah, but no. Anybody else have anything good to ask out here in this environment? John, you got anything to add?
Not a ton. You guys have made some good points with what's going on. Just trying to keep the kids' attitude up and keep the mood positive, I think, is probably what's most important here. I don't have kids, and I'm not raising young kids and trying to navigate this with that. So I feel like that's a challenge in its own, is keeping everybody up and keeping everyone positive. So even though it's been going on for close to 10 months now and things are still in a pretty tough spot, I think that's one of the most important things, is understanding that we're going to get through it and just staying as positive as you can and doing what you can to get through.
So, okay. So we'll bring up another topic here. What do you guys feel the latest trend in hockey is right now? And besides hockey going all financial and hockey academies all over the country, United States and Canada, what are some of the other latest trends you guys see happening?
Roller hockey, tons of it.
Inline's pretty big.
Inline, yeah. I mean, California has always been a hotbed for it, but you know, I've seen a bunch of people just roller skating. I mean, I wish they would open the Parks and Rec where the NHL spent $500,000 last year for the All-Star weekend. You know, put the new sport court in there, and then Sharks NHL All-Star on the middle. You know, fix the whole rink, and you can't even use it. You know, they're more concerned about homeless encampments and vandalism and things like that. So it's unfortunate, but I grew up playing in that outdoor rink. You know.
Yeah.
And my tennis court where I've been playing since I was in grade 8, that's locked up too. You know. So.
What with regard to the roller skates or rollerblades? are you mounting a lot of the blades on, or are they being sold as one package?
I basically, my repairs are almost non-existent either. So because I can only do so much, like just making my products, and I still have 9 repairs I gotta finish that are like so behind, just to make sure I can keep up with bills and such. So I'm doing mail-in sharpening. I just plugged us like on as many groups on my site. Like my promo right now is any Prosharp profiling for $49, you get a free bag. Like the bags that I make.
That's a pretty good deal.
So, and I sell these between $20 to $30. So, and it's a great storage thing. Like my overnight drop box, like you're not supposed to put a full goalie gear in there, and somebody did and broke it so it was out of commission for a month and a half. There's nothing. I thought putting like poop in there or empty beer cans was one thing, but there's a rod that keeps. It's like the post office, right? When you open it, it kind of stays open, and then you have to. This rod was bent. You couldn't even open it. Like, so we had to dismantle the whole thing to get it shimmied and fixed up. But it's just problem solving here, and navigating, trying to watch my back, installing more cameras, and the window's fun. I'm finishing a video, like my Esanta video. So that's one thing. Everybody loves ASMR. Trying to do more video. I hate being in front of a camera. I hate public speaking. It's not my forte. Like my personality is kind of like live and die kind of thing. Like, most people don't really take me seriously because I don't know. But the only thing I take seriously is my work. It's a dying art. My only competition here are automated machines. I mean, you got outdoor hockey going on right now. There's outdoor hockey 3 hours away from here. So, I try to go as much as I can. And there are more rinks being built outside of Northern California. So that's something to look forward to. Reno is almost done. They're supposed to open this week, but with all the delays, Nevada's more loose as far as mandates. But Northern California, like I have a lot of nurse and first responders that, they're burnt out, and I think I started tearing up watching this new show on NBC last night, Nurses. I'm like, where are the Filipinos?
Why do you think hockey's growing so much in California?
It's a shift, I think, because everybody misses each other. Like in my community here, it's a social group. It's beer league. It's socializing. I mean, I would be working here till 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and they're still be hanging out across the street. You guys know Wyshynski from Yahoo, or he used to be with Yahoo. Yeah. He did a video like in an article on the South Lot tree. If you look down in the ground, the sand has like like those beer cap or those bottle caps everywhere. And the stories and the socializing, that tree, a lot of people was sad when they cut it down, when they were doing groundbreaking for the Barracudas arena. So it's that community has been non-existent. I mean, the only rink that you can change inside is in San Mateo. But with the latest mandate where we're basically shelter in place again, and there's no more outdoor dining for the next 2.5 weeks, it's private lessons, figure skaters. So the rink across the street, they do temperature checks. You have to line up outside, and things are even more limited here. And so it's a struggle, man. Like, you got to be creative. I'm an essential worker technically. I take care of a couple of elderly people, and I volunteer. Like a lot of my products right now, I'm donating a portion of my profits to Meals on Wheels. So like my grandma loves that nonprofit organization. She used to volunteer for them until she was volunteering for as many places as she could until maybe 5 years ago. So yeah.
Joey, what's the difference of a hockey culture from Ontario out to Alberta, as far as like just development, quality of hockey, ice time, allowance, all that above?
We were talking about that yesterday, just the different cultures from west to east. Moving from Toronto, I think there's a lot more. How do I say it? There's a lot more, focus on being very elite, and so there's a lot more training, a lot more individual. But with that becomes a lot more expensive, a lot more competitive. And like I talked about before, the reason, we just love playing the game outdoors, you kind of lose that for the kids. I really haven't experienced a full season here in Calgary yet, so it could be the same. We know that hockey is getting very intense at the minor hockey level, and it keeps growing as parents spend more money, whether it's on gear, ice time, coaching, or anything like that. The investment equates to the more intensity. So coming from Ontario was super intense. Everything meant something at a younger age. Still, kind of learning the hockey culture here out in Calgary. Population is a little bit less, obviously, here in Calgary as opposed to Southern Ontario. So you will see teams in Ontario that have a lot more depth just because of the top population. Doesn't mean that there's not as skilled or as talented hockey players anywhere else. It just, you'll see teams that don't have as much depth out here as opposed to some of the stronger teams in minor hockey in Ontario. But that all changes year to year as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the hockey culture in a non-COVID year. The first impression that I had is, obviously kind of the same. It's intense, but not a true reflection of what a normal year would be. So long story short, I don't know if you gotta seen the differences in what I said.
Right. John, you were in the bubble city for the lockout. You actually got kicked out of your office.
Yeah.
You had to utilize the four rinks there for home for the practice for the teams. What did you notice about the city as far as just like, was there more energy in a typical playoff year? Like what did that look like? What did that feel like? I know there's no fans, but like were the bars open? Like take us through that.
So that's the thing. So yeah, it's interesting. So they had 10 or 12 NHL teams here split in Toronto and Edmonton, right? So the first few rounds would have been played in each respective bubble city. So as you mentioned, my office here is at the Ford Performance Center in Etobicoke. So they got 4 sheets here, pretty nice facilities. So the NHL essentially used this, which is where the Leafs practice full time. They had all the teams here with their practice set up so that they could practice here, but then play at the ACC, Scotiabank Center, I should say. But as far as the overall energy, the overall feel, the overall vibe in the city, I wouldn't say that it really impacted it a ton, just because of the restrictions that were in place, and bars weren't really open for it. Restaurants weren't really able to capitalize on it like I'm sure they wanted to. So they had the NHL guys set up at a couple different hotels in the city. And then they also allowed the NHL players to a few different facilities like BMO Field, where Toronto FC plays soccer. They were able to get over there and train and kind of get out of the hotel a little bit. But to answer your question, I didn't really notice it a ton in Toronto. I don't really think it changed too much. And the extent of the restrictions and essentially keeping the NHL players and the NHL staff safe was kind of top priority. So you weren't really able to see these guys. I didn't have access to my office during that time. So there was definitely a lot that the NHL had to do to keep these players isolated and keep them safe so that they could play and finish the season. So not really a ton that changed in the way of sort of public perception in Toronto, but I do think the NHL did a pretty good job with the ability to finish the season and get things wrapped up in a safe manner. So that's kind of what I would say to that here.
Nice. Crazy. Well, good stuff. Thanks for that insight, John. What, I guess any open question to anybody here, really. I've seen a lot of the concessions the NHL players had to make. So do you guys think we're going to go forward with the NHL season?
I think it'll happen. I just don't know when it'll come back. I think the earliest it'll come back will be like late January. But there's so many things that need to be figured out. But I do think that they'll play.
Joey, if this is your craft and you're still playing and you're the top 6 forward, right? You're not the bumper guy anymore. Are you taking that type of pay cut, concessions to play in the National Hockey League and risking your career?
Well, I never made any money like the contracts like they are now, so I'm not really kind of involved in their variables. But if I was to go back and this happened during my career, I would be all into play. There's a small window in your life that you get to play hockey. A pay cut for these players that are making that much money is one thing, but nowadays your career goes by so quick. I would just maybe, from somebody who had a 9-year career, it does go by quick. So don't miss any opportunity to get out there and play. Obviously, we love the game, and I would like to see the business kind of taken out of it, introduce the game back to the fans in a time where absolutely everybody needs it. I would love to be able to turn on the TV right now and watch a hockey game when nothing else is on, just because that's my love, my passion. I talked about having the kids involved in that culture. Being able to watch a hockey game with my kids would be awesome right now. So I am hoping that they do get back. I hope that, insurance, money, everything is kind of, figured out so that, these players don't lose a year of their career as well. Talking about their legacy, some of the top players are so exciting right now. I want to see them play when they're in their prime, not lose a year of their prime to expose it to all the hockey fans.
Right.
That's the saddest part, man. I was in Arizona, if I can chime in, back in June, and that was, their rules a little more lax there. And I talked to a bunch of kids that go to ASU, and some of them are missing out on their senior year. Like with the limited play, and kids can't go to prom or whatever with all the remote learning. So it's a big adjustment, man. And a lot of kids here are going nuts. Parents like to keep them busy, and then when they're at home doing remote learning, and can't play hockey, got all that energy, you don't want to be on a computer all day. And
that's
nobody
a good
wants to
point
learn how
about
to sew.
The amateur side. The pro side is one thing, but the amateur side, there's some kids that have invested a lot of their work and their time into key areas of their hockey career, whether it's bantam draft out west, minor draft out in Ontario, or even this might be your NHL draft year that you've probably worked all summer for, just to make sure that you're ready to be exposed and scouted. We don't know what that's going to look like for those age groups. Is there going to be a bantam draft? What's the NHL draft going to look like? Are these going to be pushed back? So, there's a lot of those things that I think, add to that mental stress of a lot of these athletes when there is key years. You talk about college athletes, they only have 4-year career, junior, major junior, up to 5-year career. So anytime you take that away from them, and shorten that, you hate to see them miss out. But, there is worse things in the world than kids missing hockey games. Just hope when they do get back, everybody's safe.
Yeah, that's for sure. I just reached out to a couple of people in Finland and Sweden just to see how hockey is over there, and they said no games, nothing. Everything's pretty much shut down in Finland until start of the new year. So in the darkest time of the season, as far as daylight, is the darkest time in hockey too. So a sad situation over there for the ice hockey players, and that goes right into the pro leagues too. And then I think Sweden, it shifts from each province that you go to in Sweden, and depending on the cases and how they're going. I know our boss is fortunate; his son is still playing a lot of hockey per week in northern Sweden, but they might be in a little isolated bubble there where they're a little bit safer practicing. But it changes from, I guess, province to province in Sweden, or territory to territory, however they deem their country. So different circumstances everywhere going on. A lot of a lot of struggles out there. And we're, obviously we're a company that's trying to navigate this new way of doing business too. So, what I can let people know that utilize our machinery is, if it's a slow season out there and you need service, Ryan or John and Joey up in Canada can do the service and make sure your machine's up to par when it's time to ramp back up. And I know internally we're going to dive deeper into how to drive more sales, or not necessarily more sales, but just inform people more about the Prosharp philosophy and technology and things that we have coming out. I think we're going to be doing a training seminar internally on how to do the Zoom calls and sales calls through virtual training with potential customers. So that'll be coming your way, for all you guys out there that perhaps could be interested. I know it's tough, to say, hey, you want to, buy a machine during a pandemic, but we do have a list of potential customers that said, hey, connect with us once the pandemic's over, and then we'll talk. So if you're one of those people, just let us know, and it's better to let us know that way than for us to keep harping on you. So once the dust settles with this, we can come out and support you in the right way if you feel that this is the way we want to move. So guys, anything else to add? This has been, yeah.
Plugging such a
no, keep plugging it. That's why we're here, and we want everybody to be successful in today's environment. That's for damn sure. I think that's a great stocking stuffer and Christmas gift for the kids out there. They'll really enjoy that, to go along with their Sony PlayStation.
Shane,
oh my God, do you guys see all the ads for that? People selling it for 3 times more than when they bought it.
I saw that. Yeah, that's what my son said. He said, "Dad, get me a PlayStation 5. I'll triple my money." It's like,
Shane, at the end of the day, everybody's in the same predicament. Like my kids, they got other stuff to do, and hockey will always be there, right? And I know there's lots of stress, the WHL draft, NHL draft, all that, but every player is the same. Nobody's getting ahead of anybody right now at this particular time. So, and the kids go out, they go out snowboarding, they go out skiing, whatever, they go out on the skidoos, the quads. Hockey's going to be there, and they're not going to lose that much at the end of the day.
No, keep skating, keep having fun, keep on the outdoor rinks, keep rollerblading. That's probably going to be one of our hockey talk discussions when we pull away periodically from our machines and questions on these webinars. We're going to change topics. Like I said, we're to let people know that we're a hockey resource also. So I think next time we have a kind of hockey roundtable, we're going to bring on a couple pro players and a couple junior players to see how they're dealing with the mental side of the hockey and their in their respective industries. So I want to thank Essen and Brad, particularly 2 small shop owners, for jumping on this call, and we wish you guys the best in the tough times and going through the pandemic. It's tough on it's tough on you guys, it's tough on everybody, but just keep pushing through, and hopefully there's light at the end of this tunnel here. Again, thanks to my Prosharp staff for jumping on the call, and if you guys have any questions out there, feel free to ask us. I've been watching the thread come through, but there's people have been commenting, but not necessarily a question towards us, but we can stay on for a couple minutes if you guys want to field us some call or some information or ask us some questions. Like, again, feel free to reach out. We love talking hockey. I mean, this is what we do. This is the easiest topic in the world for us to talk about. So and it's a fun topic. So that's damn sure. Ryan, anything else?
No, that's it for today, guys. So I got my
Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate your time today.
All right.
I just posted this on my website. Let's make skate sharp and great again. See you guys. Thank you.
Stay safe, guys. Later.
Guys.